Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gonzo Ewok channel with me Ewok.
And me Gonzo.
For another episode of
Geordie Space Program!
First episode in 2 weeks, because we had to take a week off.
Yeah, we'll have to start with an apology for that one. We were out and about, weren't we?
We were
The weekend we were supposed to have recorded something. We've been doing them the past few weeks very last minute, haven't we? Recording on a Friday or Thursday, Friday night, and then putting them up like the day after. And yeah, we were at a LAN party, weren't we, down south?
We were.
Special guest stars, so to speak.
So, it's the Gonzo Ewok save that we want, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yeah, the test save was me duplicating our progress so I could try stuff out. You know, in the last episode I said I did that and killed just about everybody very quickly.
Yeah.
You did the same and bankrupted.
I did the same and bankrupted the space program during my test run.
Aye.
So, I mean, that bears well, doesn't it, for this episode?
It certainly does. So we haven't really got much of an idea of what we want to do here, do we? We've got a sort of an overarching sort of path we would like to take over maybe the next few episodes.
Yeah, the quest for monoprop. We want to get some monopropellant, so we're going to need some science.
Yeah, so that's first thing, because what we learned when we last tried that landing on the moon was we need that monoprop, we need the RCS control for fine tuning. Also for things like we did a rescue mission. We got Penny Crayon back, who, you know, rest in peace, Penny and Valentina. But we did bring them back, and what we found when we were trying to do that rendezvous maneuver was that the RCS would have made things a hell of a lot easier, rather than Penny having to get out and kind of push herself along there. So it's a big step forward. It's a bit of a weird one for me that it's where it is in the tech tree, because it seems that should be something quite fundamental you would get early on, and I know we're still fairly low down the tech tree.
It's probably because we rush and try and do more than we should earlier. So we want monoprop now to assist in sort of landings and really low gravity manoeuvring, but we're probably early in the game for that.
The other thing that we mentioned was the deaths of Valentina and Penny weren't in vain, because we got our hands on fairings, so we want to be able to show those off a little bit and use them, because we're 15 episodes in, we still haven't touched them, and they're my favourite part of 1.0.
15 episodes in.
Oh, we're not?
We're like episode 6 or something.
Feels like longer.
I'm just looking at some missions here, because money isn't great. There's plenty of satellite missions and stuff like that, but
we don't want to do those temperature scans if they're the ones where you've got to go to certain locations, because that is a right pain in the arse.
Yeah, we're not very good at them yet.
No.
There's a couple of rescue missions which would be useful, because we'd get a free Kerbal.
We're definitely going to need to do them at some point, because we have just killed 2 of them. What else have we got? There's a lot of rescue missions, actually.
There's a lot of rescue missions. There's a few satellite missions which are worth about 100k each.
What about the tourist mission? You usually get a little bit of cash off them.
The tourist mission is, one of them wants to go suborbital on Minmus and fly around Minmus and orbit Kerbin. The other one wants to fly by the Mun, so it's a bit of a here, there and everywhere kind of mission.
Nah, hell with that. It's a right faff one.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't think we're ready for it yet. Science data from the surface of Minmus and land on Minmus, we're not doing very well on there. The landing.
If we can get our hands on RCS, though, those are good contracts for it to have for the near future, though.
Perhaps we should just concentrate on getting some science this episode.
I think that makes sense.
Well, we did fly by Minmus last episode. We didn't bring the science back from it. But
no, we need to go back there and get science.
But I don't think just yet, because we just did that.
Yeah,
How about we just do a really quick and dirty escape from the Kerbal system to get in a high distance orbit around the star, Kerbal, or the sun.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And then come back again.
Just grab a bunch of science and bring it back home, eh? So, if we're doing this, I
don't think we've actually done this on a Geordie Space Program when we've
maybe
just
first
escaped.
Series, I think we've maybe grabbed it, but it's been incidental when we've escaped somewhere trying to go somewhere else. Then it's not worked out.
So, what's Munna Flyby is our current craft, isn't it? Did we use the 2 or the 1?
One's slightly more expensive. I would assume we used that.
Let's have a look. I'll recognise it when I see it.
No, that's the one we have been using, the 2, because it's got the bigger parts on it. Cut down the part count.
Yeah, are you sure that's right? Because, hang on, I know what we'll do, because we'll have the Rescue Explorer, and the Rescue Explorer is the same ship. Yeah, so it's that one.
Aye.
Should we use this one, and we can take a scientist and a pilot?
It's not a bad idea.
And then we can get the scientist leveled up a bit, we'll get the pilot leveled up a bit. Unfortunately, I think, I think our only pilot's Jeb. In fact,
we're down to the red coat.
We're down to the red coat, so
Bob, Jeb.
We're going to have to be careful on this mission.
Very, very careful. So,
I've got another idea as well. You remember how last time everyone died because I shot the parachutes off early?
yeah.
What I'm going to do is, as a safety net, I'm going to put the parachutes in 2 separate stages.
So we might still have some parachutes.
Yeah, so if that one gets fired off accidentally early, then we've got a spare.
We'll probably coming down on 2, if that does happen, we can probably destroy that science.
Yeah, but it's better to just destroy the science than
A bit
destroy
further down,
everything.
this has legs. No, it doesn't have legs on it.
It doesn't have legs,
Explorer.
no.
Have we any additional science we can cram in there?
Well, we've got goobies, we've got thermometers, and we've got the Science Junior. I mean, I don't really know if there's anything else that we
I
need.
think that would be it really for.
That's all we've got in terms of the science at the
Yeah.
minute.
Well, we've got a full complement of science that we've got available at the minute, so that makes sense.
There's not much we can do with the Fairons on this ship, of course.
No, we do want to play around with them, but I'm thinking at some point maybe try a couple of probes or something. Since we're a bit thin on the ground with staff, we might have to use some probes for a little while.
Especially if we lose these guys.
Yeah, we need to get our hands on some cash. Yeah, for the record, you are not killing these 2.
I'll certainly try. I'm still feeling ropey after the amount of booze we put away at that LAN and the lack of sleep. So I'm probably not at the best. We're going to rename this.
On the first night, I drank a keg of speckled hen. I drank about a bottle of meat to myself and shared the rest of it amongst the other people. Being a proud Northumbrian and meeting up with people who aren't Northumbrians, my first thought was take mead, make them drink mead, and then that means that they're not allowed to kill us. And it worked. I'm still alive.
Yeah,
So
you are still alive.
That worked, you know. It's a bit wobbly in the middle. But yeah, I felt proper rough on the Saturday morning. My eyes were like sheep's fannies.
In fact, I stayed off the drink on the Saturday after the Friday.
Yeah, I did not.
Well, you weren't driving.
No.
I was very conscious of the fact that if I was in the same clip on Sunday as I was on Saturday, I would not have been capable of driving 5 miles, let alone 350 miles. So no drink at all.
But yeah, we're going to talk about land gaming in our next podcast. Chances are, yeah. I assume the podcast will be up maybe even before this one.
The podcast will be up before this.
Well, you've probably heard our discussions about land gaming if you watch our podcast as well as Geordie Space Program.
Which you should.
If not, it's there. It should be the video before this one. Give it a watch.
He's pointing.
Yeah.
He's doing motions with his
I'm
hand.
still a little bit drunk from the LAN, if I'm honest.
Gesticulating wildly.
So yes.
Oh!
Right. That isn't what I wanted to see happen.
Didn't happen last time.
Well, there's 40 odd grand up the Swami, and possibly those 2 absolutely fucked.
Those 2 will be fine because they're going to splash down.
Right.
Unless that lands on them, but it won't do because that's going faster than us.
Well, might as well pop the parachutes. Now, what happened there?
The solid fuel boosters, when it came off, just wiped off the bottom of the craft, which it didn't do last time.
We did, in one iteration of this, we did move them further down, didn't we? And they look as though they've been moved further down here.
Well, this is exactly the same ship as we used with some degree of success last time.
So how do we make that not happen?
Well, we'll have a look at it when we land.
Maybe putting like a defensive cage on the booster.
There is a defensive cage on the booster.
Shit, that was quite a big bang then. That's no good. One set of parachute. Well, it's got to know that parachute staging thing does the trick. Put the others out. There we are.
There we go. Nicely leveled off. Okay, a little bit of a false start, and as you say, 40k down the Swanee.
Yeah, that's about 10% of where remaining. Well, probably slightly less because I think we've got closer to 500.
Yeah, we could probably do with the new radial decouplers as well that hold things a little bit further out.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's another consideration of things that we need to improve our ship design.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at the science menu and see exactly how much we're going to need to move a bit further. That's a lovely little reef down there.
Very fucking expensive trip to come and view the reef. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that went really, really badly.
It did go badly. And I don't think there's any science we can do here. I mean, we've done science, splashdown. No 0.1 science, we'll keep that, that's worth it.
Oh, well, that's been worth it then, hasn't it? Yeah, we aimed for the sun, we got the water.
We got 8.2 kilometres away from Kerbal Space Centre.
Yeah. That's not good. So how do we improve this? Have a quick check in the science menu, see what we're actually going to need to get. Can we move the solids further down?
Well, we can, yes, in theory.
Right. That might do it, possibly. You shouldn't tap on the table, the microphone's on it. Be driving Kirby mental.
I'm just thinking.
You'll drive him off.
Well, Bob got 1 XP, so it wasn't completely wasted. It was mostly wasted. Right. Oh no, you wanted to look at the Science Centre. Of course, we need to look at the Science Centre, so back out to the Science Centre. This is why our videos are never short, because shit like this happens. Yeah, the plan was to keep these sort of fairly short and sweet, but that means that things go right first time. Aviation's no good, miniaturization, space exploration. There's one monoprop, advanced flight control, for which we need 90 science. And 90 science for those. So we need 180 science to get to where we need to be. Where you've got the TT-70s, which hold you further out. You've got the those ones keep you closer in, but the ejection force is doubled, so that could be useful as well. Now, could it be where we've actually positioned the radial decouplers? If we've got them being held on... They're sort of in the middle, aren't they? Yeah, they're central, so... I mean, one easy way would be to just postpone our gravity turn until we drop them, and then they'll go straight down and there'll be no issue there. Yeah, we have got enough fuel here, more than enough fuel to get the escape that we're needing to get back. So that might be sensible if we do it. Should we just launch it again? Yeah, why not? I mean, they haven't a keep yet that didn't even break the atmosphere. An astronaut that doesn't break the atmosphere doesn't deserve pain. That's what I would say. So, same ship, a little less fuel efficient on the launch, but playing it safe. Yeah. So, certainly give that a go. So, while we're launching, I shall also mention the Gonzo Ewok Geordie Space Program has went variable voltage in terms of the electronic cigarette paraphernalia that I use to fuel myself while we're recording these. I've been in Newcastle this morning. We're recording this on a Monday morning. We're both off work. And I've nipped into a really nice little shop that's opened in Newcastle. When we were at the LAN, I was using my old, what you call a cool fire one, which looks a little bit like a metal cigar for people that don't use these things. Looks a little bit like Doctor Who's sonic screwdriver. The call is Doctor Who at work because my electronic cigarette does look like the sonic screwdriver. And it was a perfectly good thing, but it's basically like fixed wattage, and it only takes certain resistances of like the coils that heat up the liquid, which was fine, but it was kind of sorely lacking. And some of the guys at the LAN party had like what you call box mods, which are much kind of bigger and beefier, but you can play around, nice separation, you can play around with the voltages, and basically you can use much lower resistance coils, which gives you way more of the vape when you're using them. And I was incredibly jealous and felt somewhat emasculated when everybody had bigger toys than I did. So incidentally, we're burning full and our speed is coming down. It'll be alright, just keep pushing. The atmosphere's thinning out, so it's slowing down, it'll start going. It's starting to bottom out. Very inefficient burn, because we're now at 15 kilometres. But we've got the fuel to burn here, and it's a fairly straightforward thing we're trying to do. So in any event, I've went out this morning, I've picked this thing up, it set us back a pretty penny, but it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I've got my fizzy grape on the go. It holds so much fizzy grape, it's frightening. It's like a shot of tequila sitting in this fucking tank thing. So yeah, if you're hearing a little bit of burning and rasping, you can adjust the airflow on these things a little bit as well, and I'm trying to find one that works where it's quiet when I'm using it, because these things can make a little bit of a racket. So it does crackle away a bit when you're using it. Yeah, that's the liquid like burning and what have you. So apologies if that noise is bugging you. I'm basically directing this to Kirby. He's the only one that'll pick up on the noise, really. He's probably the only one. Honestly, the guy makes one minor little niggle, which was fair enough. Clonk, clonk, clonk. And you have to bring it up every episode now. Well, I want to make sure our viewer is happy. It's what it's what YouTube's all about. I think Ringo's still watching, so yeah, Ringo comments on our videos, but he hasn't complained. And if you don't complain, nothing. Where's the planet went? Yeah, that's a problem. Zoom. Around. We got nothing. We're flying blind. We need to quick save and quick load. Apologies for that little technical bug. There we go. These things can happen. So we're not really getting any higher, but although the speed's picking up now. Oh yeah, we're well on our way, mate. Aye. Bearing in mind we've still got another stage, so...
Yeah, and that other stage, it's a poodle engine with a good amount of fuel, so that's very fuel efficient once we're high up here.
Absolutely, and it's got 3 big tanks.
Aye. So, sitting still fairly pretty, still pushing. Very inefficient burn this, it's not something you really want to do, but given the circumstances with those solids, makes sense to be doing them really.
Well, it's either that or a full redesign, isn't it?
You shouldn't drink your coffee while I'm puffing on the electric fag.
You're always puffing on your electric fag, though.
Yeah, but time it better.
It's every time you finish speaking, you puff on your electric tab.
People want to know where the random shite that I spout comes from. It comes from nicotine poisoning, you see? Got to keep the nicotine levels up. That's what gives us the energy. That's where all these random thoughts come from, firing the old synapses on the brain.
That's where Gonzo's edge comes from.
Exactly. Edgy. Well, edgy is a fucking Satsuma in reality nowadays. But... yeah, that's what gives us this this lunatic fringe that I've got going on. You see, that's nice. Not my hair. You looked at my hair when I said lunatic fringe.
I did, yeah. I thought, what's up with your hair?
I don't like a fringe. I do not like a fringe. My wife got her hair cut into a fringe about 2 years ago.
Was that nearly the end of the relationship?
It was. I mean, I think we were engaged at the time. She went to the hairdressers and she'd said, "Oh, have you any ideas what I should do with me hair?" And me one instruction was, I said, "Please, you can do whatever you like for me, darling. Whatever you do, though, please don't get a fringe. I really hate fringes. I don't like them on myself. I don't like them on anybody else. Certainly don't like them on me women."
Do you remember back in the day when all I had was a fringe?
Yeah, when you did that, you shaved your head and kept your fringe.
Yeah,
you had like a little devil lock sort of thing coming off the front.
It was the natural evolution of my previous hairstyle, which was like really short hair with a really long fringe.
Yeah, just flip it
80s style.
Yeah, why not?
Because you know, in the sort of late 90s, I decided that was a good time to develop an 80s hairdo.
Yeah. Well, you know, a bit of a throwback. But yeah, so that's what ended up happening. I dropped off at the hairdresser's about 2 hours later. She called us up and said, "Can you come and pick us up?" I was like, "Alright, yeah, I'll come pick you up." And what did I see when I turned up? She'd basically got Lily Allen's haircut from back in the day. Very dark, very, you know, I like long hair and no fringe is what I go for, usually long dark hair. And then she got this, well, I'm saying ridiculous, that sounds incredibly harsh. It was a lovely haircut if you like fringes. It was very well done, but it broke my heart, frankly. So yes, I'm not a big fan of the fringe.
Meanwhile, in Kerbal Space Program, started the burn a little bit late, but I think we'll be alright. I'm pretty sure we like almost got orbit last time with the original mainsail engine without having to rely on the Poodle. So we really have hurt ourselves and lost quite a lot of bit of Delta V. Yeah.
But I mean, if we looked at the burn that we did there as well, that straight up and then tilt burn really isn't a good way of doing it.
No,
it just shows the difference.
It took a long time to get that tilt right, and I'm still not good at getting the orbit with the new aerodynamic system.
It
still throws me.
I still struggle as well. I mean, there's a lot of people complaining that the game's broken, and it totally isn't. It's just difficult. That's the thing.
It's just very, very different.
The thing is, if you've played Kerbal Space Program for a couple of years, as we have and a lot of people have, you're used to the old system.
You've got your stock of designs built up.
Yeah, and it's not just that, it's your muscle memory. Your muscle memory while you're flying is the old system.
We're going to hit the atmosphere here, so because we're just doing a orbit, orbit and escape, we just punch it out. It's a long burn, that.
It's a very long burn. Touch more. There, you've shaved like, what's that, 20 odd seconds off? 26.
I think we'll be alright.
I really don't want to fire these off into a solar orbit and lose them.
We can always abort.
I say as you hit the button.
We can always abort.
See what the fuel's like. Where's the? Bring up the fuel. Keep an eye out. That's ticking very fast.
It is ticking very fast.
But that being said, the burn is going quite well.
Let's just ride with it and see how it goes. Should take a lot less to get back than to get there. The trick is we got to get back quick.
Aye.
You don't want to stay in that solar orbit for very long.
Well,
you want to get there and then come back.
I think if we drop below 500, we started at about 1,100.
We're not going to drop below 500. We've only got 20 seconds of this burn left. Cool. In fact, I should just be burning straight on.
Yeah, hit it.
Pro.
Just get fast. It's pulling it down. So, coming up to 750 units. Yeah, I'd say as a safety margin, leave with about 500 units of fuel left.
So we're shooting out now.
Yeah, that's nice. That'll be going there. Perfect. 886 left. You just burnt another 20 units. Would have been the Devil's Flight. Devil rides again.
Okay, so there's our Kerbin escape, and let's just nip there.
Nice.
Goodbye, planet. Whee! And there it shoots off into the distance. Glorious. Time warp complete. We're escaping in 1 day, so we're going to have to sort of manually nip it forward.
Aye. But that's okay, we can manage that. Slowly ticking. Still slowly ticking. We're out of there.
Okay, so we are now technically no longer in the influence of the Kerbal system.
No, we've managed to get ourselves out with grand fashion there.
So let's just get the science done and then head home, eh?
Aye, I think that does make a lot of sense.
Log a temperature. We're still in space high over Kerbin, apparently.
Oh.
I wonder if they've changed it, so you've got to be closer now. Oh, we're still not a Kerbin escape. We've still got 4 hours before.
Oh yeah, the line's got to turn blue before shit happens. Right, we're doing it. What's that? Getting there.
What is that little dot? Is that where Kerbin is?
Yeah, that's where Kerbin's going to be once we hit there. Right. Still a few minutes. Ticking down.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
I didn't know what that was for a second.
No, me neither.
We've done a Yui.
It went a bit.
The space Yui. The worst of all Yuis.
Now you can still see Kerbin, which is nice, but it's no longer affecting us gravitationally.
That's definitely the word to use. You can shrink your nav ball if needs be, you know. Alright, measure of the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible. No matter around. Oh, we've seen that one before.
So that's 16 science.
It's not bad though.
Let's get a couple of goo reports.
You sounded like a darts commentator there.
And that's a bad miss.
It's Sid Waddle. He was from Linemouth, famous darts commentator.
20 science from there.
Nice. Might as well just spam all of this, mightn't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another 20 science. Well, that's not going to be 20. That'll give about 6 or something. How much do we get for the temperature?
16.
So we're on 36. Materials Bay gives us 50.
Nice.
Very nice.
So up to 86. We're just behind. Can we fire? We can get an EVA report as well.
Report for 10.
What would happen if we got the rest of the temperature readings using the rest of those thermometers? Would that give me maybe a couple apiece?
No, because the temperature gives you 100% return.
Ah, right. So let's just use it once and that's it. Cool.
So there's Bobby. Let's do an EVA report for 16 science.
Good on you, Bobby. Well done. Get him back in.
I'm curious to... How do I let go of space? Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, I'm curious to see if he can reset experiments at his level. Because he's a level 0 scientist, so I wonder if he can do anything. Yeah, he just reset the goo canister.
Good on you. Good on you, Bobby.
But that means we'll lose the experiment, so observe it. That's fine. Then... No, observe it. Keep the data. Collect the data. And... restore the goo canister.
Nice.
Not that this will get anything, unless we land in a good biome.
Aye.
I mean, if we've got enough fuel, we could try and land in the poles.
Collect the data. Cool. Yeah, I think we should give that a go, mate. If we've got enough fuel to do it. Oh, there we go. Proper spacewalky missions. Actually, people getting out and doing something as opposed to just trying to hop into a rescue craft.
We brought a scientist, so, you know, we might as well make use of him.
No, that's it. He's earning his keep. Nice. Oh, God. Don't trap his head in there, whatever you do. Can you imagine his head shearing off in space? Look like something out of Event Horizon. Right. Get him back in. Now,
I believe the ladder's over here, so...
they're a little bit tricky to try and get into.
They are when you're coming from the wrong angle. I really wish you could rotate the Kerbals.
There he is.
Why not?
What have we lost? Review the stored data.
Stored data. So we've got space high over the sun, mystery goo observation, and material study. It seems we can only hold one goo container.
Right. Well, that's okay then.
Which is fine. So we'll keep all the data, and then we'll use one of the goo containers again.
Aye.
And bring it in on the container itself.
Yeah, keep that in the tank.
Right. Getting back, how do we do that? Do we just burn towards Kerbal? If we slow down, then the system should catch us up. Is that how it works?
I thought it was, however, I think... Are we... Oh, what was that?
Let's zoom in. First of all, we'll set Kerbin as our target.
Yep. So, because we've accelerated ourselves to quite a speed, you would think slowing down would bring it together.
And it sort of does.
It does look there. That's where...
That's only a 7-second burn.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And we get a Kerbal encounter.
And then we'll have to burn a bit more there to bring myself back into orbit.
Okay. So I know that all we need to do is burn retro, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll just burn retro until we hit it.
Aye.
Basically towards Kerbal.
Yeah.
Almost.
But we want to, again, control ourselves coming in here because we're going incredibly fast. Incredibly fast.
And we're going incredibly fast, but not necessarily in relation to Kerbal itself.
No, no.
Because that's an orbital speed. In relation to Kerbal, we're doing the same speed, apparently. That's not right.
So, bring it down. Bring it down. Get the encounter. I would probably have left the manoeuvre node, just because it might be very easy to overshoot this.
I'm burning just at a fraction, mate.
I see. I see. So they're creeping together, those little two nodes. There.
Did I just overshoot?
No, I think that's... You've got your encounter.
I've got the encounter in 4 hours. So once we've got the encounter, then we'll come back.
Then we'll burn again. So... Weird lines happening here.
Yeah, the lines are going all sort of skew with.
But
don't know what it means.
We're
gonna loop around the back of the Kerbin system and shoot out again by the looks of it.
Aye, that's it. It's a strange little orbit we've got going on.
When I go any faster than this on time warp, we completely lose it.
Aye.
But what I can always do is I cannot auto warp so far.
No, alright.
That's 1 year. I'm alright, thank you. I'll just keep the 1 hour. That's fine.
That makes sense. We'll just tick this down quite nicely.
It's because the two lines intersected. It's very difficult to actually click on the one that I want.
So is this going to give us enough then to maybe unlock another part of the science tree?
It should do, yeah. We've got over the 90 that we need. We've got 50 alone from the materials bay, 20 from one of the goo pods, 15 from EVA, so we're there already.
Awesome.
And we've got a little bit extra from the temp scan, and
So,
we'll get a couple more from the extra goo
big
pod.
question is, this is the quest for RCS. Do we actually go for the RCS, or do we need those hydraulic decouplers?
I think the RCS.
Do you reckon?
The RCS will help us with fine-tuning satellites. It'll help us with rescue missions, if you remember.
With land.
With the rescue mission last time, I had to get Penny out of the craft and actually fly her over.
Yeah.
It'll help us with landing, so I think the RCS has got more uses. The ship's not ideal, but we know we can get it to work.
This is true. It's just it means it's a very inefficient burn. But yeah, you know what? I'm inclined to agree. We'll go for the RCS.
The lines are going mental. They're going crazy, mate.
Aye.
It really worries me.
It's all right. Just keep going. I'm gonna whip back round. As you're just on the cusp of coming into contact with it, you can see the nav ball flipping. And it's like you're just hovering on the edge of its sphere of influence, literally wibbling along that very fine line.
It's wanting to pull us in, but it's struggling.
Yeah. But once we get here, you can see just literally just that speed, just ticking along. It's not dropping any, but we're getting there. There. Gone. But it will be back.
Hang on. It's flicking between Kerbal... We're going to escape at the
Slow
same
it
time
down
as
a
we
touch
hit it.
more. Hit a bit more. Right, what's that done?
It's not wanting to make us escape anymore. I think that's the problem. I think we're going to encounter it and then immediately leave its sphere of influence within the space of a second.
So...
Yeah, the Kerbal escape's now 41 days. That should give us enough time to get the manoeuvre done.
Yeah, well, I don't think we can burn for 41 days, frankly. So... have we got it?
We are. In fact, we're on a collision course.
That's not good.
Well, we're almost on a collision course. But not quite.
Yeah, that's sort of scraping along the side of the planet. So, what we want to do, how far down is that? Because we're far too hot here.
That's
and
20.
far too
Well, that's
fast.
20 days away. So maybe if we get to here.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to push myself up with a retro burn.
Yeah, but that is going to.
Yeah, but you've burned too far. Go a little bit prograde. If you go a little bit. No, you were fine there, but then you overdid it. Watch, if you do it. There, it's pushing out. There. See? You've got a periapsis.
That's giving us a mun encounter.
Well, no, but what we're more concerned about is that periapsis that's just creeping out by the planet. You want to have that tickling the atmosphere, basically.
I'm looking at this because this isn't a huge burn and it's getting us kind of over the pole, which is where we want to be.
Yeah, this is correct. What's most important is that we both come home in one piece, though.
We're flying in. We'll have a mun encounter. I think we're going to be able to avoid that mun encounter. But the mun encounter shouldn't affect the manoeuvre node I've laid down, should it?
No, no. So, we come whipping in. So, can you walk to that manoeuvre? Aye.
Let's warp here.
Oh, stop! Stop!
Stop, 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 stop.
Cancel. Because we're coming the other way. We're going to hit the fucking planet before we get to that manoeuvre. So, cancel that manoeuvre node. Right. Quick load and quick save. Because it doesn't want us to make a manoeuvre this side of the planet. That's quite annoying.
Yeah, that is quite annoying. But it's not letting me drop.
It just stops. So what we're going to have to do is manually do this.
That's fine.
As we drop towards the planet.
We're going to want to speed up a bit.
Speed up, do you reckon? I'd say slow down. Oh, no, you're right. It's pushing it out. It's alright. There, that's giving me a parry. There, stop.
No, speed up. Still don't want to come in this hot.
73 will just graze it. And then slow down once we're there. Yep, that's a smart move. That's not a ridiculous burn, about 20 odd seconds. We're
going to afford 30 seconds to get down to there.
Aye, and then we can see how things are looking in terms of can we bring ourselves down in a biome we haven't visited yet. So... Manoeuvre.
So we shall warp to manoeuvre.
I really hope we don't scratch the planet too much here.
We're not. We're above atmosphere. We're like 72, aren't we?
So time warp's completed. You want to slow down? Slow down. For fuck's sake!
What the fuck?
You warped to the manoeuvre, but it kept you going fast.
I pressed escape. It didn't work.
Because it said it had been completed. You've got to slow yourself down manually.
No, warping to manoeuvre is supposed to warp you to manoeuvre and then stop.
Well, that's clearly not happened here. We've totally overshot.
That's
so,
fine. Let's just do...
burn backwards, quick. Right. There, we're bringing it down. That's the moon encounter. Weird shit happening here.
So I maintain that wasn't my fault. That was warp to manoeuvre not working.
Regardless, we're not in the business of recriminations. Not until something properly goes wrong.
Right, let's stop here, because if we're further out, that makes it easier for us to do an inclination change.
No, you were right with that one. Keep doing it. What are you doing?
If we just twist it, it's less efficient. Whee!
Yeah, that's no good for anybody. There's silence as the cogs are turning.
As the cogs are turning.
You can't freehand this, mate. You saw what happened there. We ended up with an escape, and we haven't got fuel to escape, and then come back.
I have to freehand this because you can't do a straight burn there because it twists itself around as it goes.
You want to burn on the 90 degrees, though, don't you?
I want to burn there. That's where I want to burn.
Really? Just pacify the idiot here, alright? Get yourself to about here, where we'll be about 3 o'clock, and try inclination burn there. See what happens.
No, that's not how it works.
But do it anyway, as I said. Pacify me.
Burn
Just
on the 90 degrees?
No, burn here. You see, the audience can't see where I'm pointing, but
there.
About there. Yeah, burn there and see what happens. Inclinate. Okay, same thing. Alright, no, just wanted to see. I don't think it's worth fucking doing, mate. I think there's plenty of other biomes that aren't polar that we can go to and we can take ourselves to the poles from the planet.
I don't know which one we've hit.
Well, just bring us down in a nice one, safely.
What's the harm in trying? We've got plenty fuel.
It's a fuck on, and it's not really...
It's not a fuck on, it's a piece of piss.
It's not a piece of piss, mate, because we're trying to freehand an orbit which we know is going to lead to an escape and not give her a polar encounter.
But it won't. It won't lead to an escape. See? It's going lovely.
It's starting to move a little bit.
Of course it is. It will push out a bit, but not too far.
No, I mean, yeah, look, yeah, manoeuvre node, mate, is what I mean. Look.
That's not my manoeuvre node.
But that's the inclination, isn't it? Yep, see, and now it's stopped going up, but it is pushing it out. So, what's that done to the graph?
And we'll come around to the other side.
Alright, that's a 40-second burn with 250 units of fuel, which we don't have.
You say that.
We don't have that, mate.
Like I say, it's easy to abort.
I just think we need fuel to bring ourselves home. I don't want another Vantina and Penny on my hands. We can't afford that.
It's Bob and Bill. I'm going to be careful with them.
This doesn't look like being careful.
But it is.
This looks dodgy as all hell.
Keep your eye on that fuel for me, mate.
Right, it's flying down. It's 47 units used. It's a 5th year tank. It's coming up to 2 5th year tank.
Let's take it down to 70.
I don't know if 70 units of fuel will be enough to bring it in safely. Right, yeah, no, that's it.
90, 80,
70. Yeah. So, from your app, when I go retrograde, there's no way we've got a 10-second burn to even get to there, mate. You fucked with it.
I haven't fucked with it.
We have not got a 20-second burn.
Of course we do.
Do not. No.
Then I'll get out and push. Well, you were right. Shouldn't have went for that orbital.
Thank you. It's no good fucking acknowledging that after we're fucked.
We're not fucked.
We are totally fucked.
I've left it with enough reserve to get where we need to be.
I do not... There's no way that fuel is going to last for 24 seconds. We tried a 39-second burn before there and used over 200 units. So... fucked.
It's not fucked.
There is nothing we can do. We're out of fuel. You fucked with. He cannot push that amount of distance with an RCS tank. Pushing that. Never gonna happen.
Right, little test.
I could swing for
that. That's 1.5 million kilometres.
I could, honestly, mate, I'm furious. That was mental. I've been saying for 10 fucking minutes. Don't do it.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
No, but nothing ventured. Lose all your fucking Kerbals. Mental. Why did we even do that? He cannot push that anyway. He's just going to end up fucking lost in space, out of fuel, floating next to his rocket.
I'm not really doing very well on this.
No, yeah, just piss arsing about on a lost, dead rocket.
Don't shout at me. It's mean.
It is mean. That's not going to do him any good, is it? He can't fucking dock with the space station using his head.
He's giving it a push. Look, it's coming down. Slowly.
Yeah, that's 1.5 million meters he wants to use. I have never seen the fucking likes.
Okay, he's turning the rocket around. Is it still coming down though? Yeah, it's still coming down.
Yeah, it hasn't even came down 10,000 kilometres yet, mate, and you've used nearly 40% of your fuel.
But in theory, it can be done. So what I could do is come back to the save and use my own time to push them back home.
Yeah, but we're planning to record quite a bit of this today. We can't keep just doing that, and that would take you hours.
But you see, there's a little trick. When you get back in...
Yeah, they get more EVA. We know this. But still, that is going to take you hours.
Okay. Alternative.
We shouldn't have done that manoeuvre in the first place.
That's not a valid alternative.
It was 10 minutes ago when I was screaming, don't do this.
Where's the grabby arm? What do we need for the grabby arm?
Way more. We've got 0.7.
There's the grabby arm. Oh shit, it's 2 down.
Yeah,
so we need 160 plus 90.
Yeah, we haven't even got the stuff that we've collected here though, have we?
Yeah, but that's on the path that we need. So, right. Let's end this episode. Bye everyone. Then we're going to go and do the Minimus flyby for the next episode. And that'll give us the grabby arm. And then we'll go and rescue them. It'll be great.
I honestly, we should turn the microphone off before I fucking strangle you to death. I don't want to do YouTube's first murder.
Thank you for watching Geordie Space Program, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone as well as usual, and we've now got a new quest. Not the quest for monoprop, but the quest for rescue equipment. We will see you next time, where we'll be doing another flyby of Minmus. A nice, safe flyby of Minmus with no risks taken for fear of my life.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Turn that microphone off.
Thank you, everybody, and...
Come here!
Goodbye!